Hello everybody and welcome to the OVRC. Welcome to round 6 of the GT series. We are once again at Motegi. And I'm once again joined by Erwin.
Hello, I am joining once again.
Hopefully it'll last a bit longer than the TC race, which we obviously held here last weekend. Not last weekend, last week. So back at Motegi once more. And it should be a very interesting race. For the front runners at least. We've got a few more recognisable faces appearing, which should add a bit of a spice to the race. Hopefully, Owen won't have any technical issues like last time. A bit unfortunate there, but
Yeah.
there we go. Unfortunately, Owen's not driven this track. I've done actually a bit of practice around this track in a GT car.
Wow.
To understand what the track is like, and it's all right. And as it comes back to what I was saying last week, it's very much like Suzuka, especially when you get towards the Esters behind the oval. It's a lot about balancing the car, but the first bit is very straightforward. It's just a bunch of 180-degree corners, so should provide some decent racing, we hope. Of course, the GT series is GT3 cars, so a bit hard to overtake. You can't quite push and shove as much as in a TC car, because you can't really catch them if you do spin. TC, you're going to put the foot down, the car will catch itself, and in a GT car, you just put the foot down and you spin around because you don't have grip anymore. Any sort of expectations coming into this race at all, Erwin, or are you sort of a bit blind coming into this?
Yeah, but blind. Let's see what our new special guest can do. Should be interesting.
That should be interesting indeed. Should we quickly...
My race room is still fucked. So...
You shouldn't swear on the broadcast. Think of the children. Family show.
In the Netherlands you can.
Yeah, but we're not in the... While your game is still broken, do you want to quickly run through the current standings? That may be a good idea while you're waiting for your game to work. Possibly.
I have to post the server password in a bit, so maybe I'll have to go through it very quickly.
Very quickly.
Yes. So number 1 is Marcus Lawrence with 94 points. Number 2 is Anton Griffelein with 78 points. Number 3 is Jordan Wansing with 50 points. Number 4 is Mark Whitford with also 50 points. Then number 5 is John Dalton with 33 points. In the teams, it's Concrete Racing with 144 points. Over the Curbs and Faraway with 78 points. TDMW Racing with 70 points. Nissan Dismo Tango team 60 points. And 5th is Berlin Motorsport with 49 points. And if you want to see everything, you can do so at the link in the description.
There we go.
Password posted.
So hopefully get some drivers soon on the server. And you should be ready to get rolling. Of course, this time we're running the full layout of Motegi and not just the east course. So, got basically a bunch of extra corners added in. You got, I think it's around. You just get a bit longer as the first car is now on the server, which is Mark Whitford in the Audi. As is lovely to be displayed on your screen there, center. And we're getting a few more joining on right now. So hopefully we should get some fairly good time set in practice, so we get a rough understanding of where people are going to be. Obviously, practice doesn't mean too much because we don't really know what sort of setups people are running. But we do have our first car leaving the pit lane right now, which is Mark. And he's going to be the first car out on track. Followed shortly after by Thomas Jensen. Going to roll at the pit lane as well. Mark's now heading down through turn 4. Now back underneath of the oval. Obviously, Motegi does actually have an oval. It's no longer used because I think back, when was it? It must have been a while back now. It got damaged. I don't remember what year it was now. It feels so long ago now. It got damaged during when Japan has really big, bad tsunamis and that sort of thing happened a few years back now, and just never got around to repairing it. So the oval was out of commission, but the rest of the track is still here and being raced on, and is in race room now. So still the most recent addition to the track roster. As Mark now has said, where the other pit straight is, where we started the TC race, won't be starting at this time. We'll be starting at the other pit straight. We'll head into turn 11, which is the downhill corner. And this little bit now differentiates from the east course. As you can just see off of the pit lane entry is just to the side, and that is half a lap because that is basically a lap of Motegi. Owen should be very shortly on the server as well. He's got a bit of technical issues from unfortunately last week.
Yeah, the power cut seems to have corrupted a few race room files, so I'm trying to fix that.
Wolf's going to be setting a timed lap now. Just looking around, we've got 8 cars on the server, with 6 of them out on track, but this is still very early days in the session. There shouldn't be too many issues with numbers turning up. It does seem to be very few sign-outs this week, so hopefully you get a fairly full grid. Be nice to see. Across the line to set the first time, and he puts himself 1:49.2. Next car across the line will be Thomas Jensen, which does not improve in that time. I believe it did get invalidated this time. That's a bit unfortunate for him. Jordan Ortner, who is our special guest this week, is out on track now. He's in the Porsche. He kind of likes the Porsche. Every time I watch his stream, he's always in that Porsche, so this seems to be his car of choice when it comes to GT racing. There's no surprise to see he is running it right now. Not many times being set right now. A lot of people are just on their out laps right now, or starting their first time laps at least. Thomas Jensen is fastest in a global sector. Work out which one it is. Can't really tell right now. Vinnie Roberts is also fastest in a global sector as well, so we should see how people do react. So we're going to have a second timed lap shortly, which will be 2 seconds behind Whitford's pace. Now Vinnie Roberts is on track, and he's got an interesting choice of car. He's in the C6 Corvette, the older model Corvette GT3 car. As Jensen has crossed the line and puts himself a 148.8. That's what would be worth mentioning is the Corvette, because it's somewhat a rare car to see these days. Obviously, the fact that there's now a newer model of Corvette available in the race room. We do actually have one of those on the server right now, in the pit lane right now. So that is rolling out, so you may be able to see it side by side between the new one and the old one. I don't think the timing will just work out. Oh no, yeah, there you go. Here at the pit lane, that's the new model Corvette. So just compare the two. Jordan Wolby's once again has made a return now. He is in his trusty AMG after a long absence of not appearing to races for whatever reasons. We don't really know why. We're going at 15 cars, as we've got a few more joining now. Got quite a diverse field this time, apart from the obvious amount of Nissans. We have 4 Nissans coming on the server, out of 16 cars. We've got Z4, we've got Audis, we've got Bentleys, we've got Porsches. We've got McLaren as well, in the form of James Butler right now running at number 3, Chrome McLaren, which is... That's Jordan Honzig's now on the server, so a few of the big names now on the server. Lawrence is now setting a first time lap. He's got Thomas Jensen in the background there. Lawrence is looking to try and get possibly a good result this weekend. And he's not saying weekend because it's not a weekend as such, it's a single day race. The numbers are moving to 19 cars, so we need that magical 20 car number. Has crossed the final corners now. Time will be setting. As Tom teammate sets the time and he puts 149.7, so behind Mark Whitford. Won't be looking too much into these times though. Jensen has set a new fastest time. He does set a fastest sector 1. So you hop on board for a while, and he just complete this lap. Improving both his sector 1 and 2 times, so he's definitely getting some early pace set. On turn 11, turn 10. does not improve his time. He loses some time out in that final sector somewhere. I don't know exactly where he does, but he doesn't lose it. As Tom Dentis sets fast, sets one. He's got a bit of a toe up ahead though of his teammate in the other Audi R8. Mark does lose it on the curb then at turn 9. Might be an issue during the race. The Audi is known to be a bit unstable going around on curbs, so you someone have to avoid them. Looks like Tom Dennis might set a fastest lap in this practice session. The question is, will Jensen be able to respond in time? Or will Jensen respond at all? Does look he might be able to respond. As he crosses the line, he put himself gear 2, so just behind Thomas Jensen's time. Guys on track right now. The M6, so somewhat rare car to see it around. People are somewhat suggesting it's slightly down on the balance performance right now. Distendo in front in the SLS. Hillemans is going to improve his current position at P7. Using the Haribo liveries AMG. He puts himself P3. There does seem to be a lot of drivers are struggling to match the pace currently set by Thomas Jensen. The only person getting close to him right now is Tom Dentis. Wide down in turn 11. Too much speed bringing into it. As he enters the pit lane, and this is the pit lane, it's going to be very tricky to get right. Just due to the nature of it. There's probably some drivers will be practicing that. As Vinnie Roberts, it's a very fast sector 1. You see how well he is going. Gets improvement in sector 2 as well. One more sector to go as he starts heading down the hill. We have 22 cars on the server right now. As Honzig does set the fastest lap, we did actually miss that. But he is now the fastest. As Rennie Roberts going across the line now, where does he put himself? He puts himself P4, so he loses a lot of time out in that final sector. Might be provide an issue later. We head into P12. Jensen now does not improve his time. He gets closer, but does not improve it. But does not improve his position. Would be the correct word to use then. A few drivers actually getting global fastest sectors. One is Tom Dentist, as well as Vinnie Roberts. Currently both sitting P3 and 4 in the practice session. Lose some time out in sector 2, but sector 3 just seems to be the sector where a lot of time can be made up. All lost in that case if we go a bit wider. And McLaren's pulled over to the side. Runs a lot wide there. That might invalidate his lap, unfortunately. Like he loses time anyway on that lap, no matter if it was validated or not. Ulslan is currently fastest in sector 1. Does lose out in sector 2 though. He's in the C7. You know, like really, this is the new version of the same car, the C7 Corvette. Both built by Callaway in Germany. They're in charge of the GT3 operations for the Corvette platform. While GM do build their own in the state for the GTE program. Right now set the fastest global sectors in sector 1 and 2. And improves a lead on Jensen right now. In that the BWT liveries Mercedes AMG. But you don't have the BWT Audi, so not quite have running all the pink BWT livery cars in the series, but we've got one of them at least. One of them is currently sitting on the provisional P1 spot. As we just hit the 40-minute mark. Further down the order, James Butler's currently improving his times. He's quite far off the pace, unfortunately. He's looking to try and get possibly a good result in the midfield fight. The question is if McLaren can last long enough. He does ride right at the final corner. We may see quite a bit during the race. Whitford is saying private fastest sector 1s and 2s. And in P5, so he dropped off a bit off the leaders pace. You're behind Vinnie Roberts in the Corvette. Not improve his final sector time, but does move himself up the order a bit in front of his teammate. That's the same for the final corners. Now he's coming down P19, so quite far off the pace. And right now he might be able to put himself up into the midfield area. Saying that though, he does lose some time in that final sector. Definitely seems to be the E sector where you either make or lose time. Marcus Lawrence now heading up the hill. You're seeing a P5. It's not exactly where he would like to be right now. Sebastian Bruno is quite far in the order right now. He's in the BMW Z4. And his teammate has also just joined the server as well. Kovalainen's right behind him right now in the number 1 Audi. P17, not really on the pace where he wants to be right now. Marcus Lawrence looking to go on another run to improve his current time. As we head into the 34-minute mark, we'll have a quick commentator's break, and after that, we'll be right back with more commentary. and welcome back to the OVRC, and we've just gone through the closing through the 25-minute mark for round 6 at Motegi for the practice session. We've got 3 more drivers on the track. We've got 25 cars right now on track. We're watching a little bit of a fight here between Sebastian Brunier and I believe that is Philip Hillemans. Dragons by was down on track. He has changed car, I believe, and he's now in the Z4. Number 80. Very nice red livery. But the orders changed somewhat. Honzig still in P1. Gonzalez takes the P2, followed by Jensen, Lawrence, Whitford, Dentist, Robert Hillemans, Kovalainen, and Alexander Secker, who's on screen right now as he's heading up through to turn 7. And it heads off track there, so something lost the car a bit then, it does seem. Big Roberts pulls off to the side. George Osner is currently setting some real more practice times. Improving his sectors. He's going to be quite down the order right now of that current times, possibly around a P10, 11 spot, depends how much he does lose in that final sector. There's still plenty of time to gain some time, and he's still qualified to go, so no need to panic just yet. A few cars moving up and down the order right now. Jan Vinnelomen is currently P11 and improving both his sectors as well. In through turn 11 now. Under the oval. And for the final 2 corners. Power down the main straight as well, and that's going to be a common spot, I think. When I remember when I was driving this track, there's quite an easy spot there to outrun yourself and head onto the gravel. That's won't be an uncommon thing to happen this race, I don't think. As Dragos Biber is currently improving his lap times. You know, much everyone else right now does seem to be in a pit lane or just doing various laps. We've got 25 cars on the server, with all of them actually have set a timed lap. Cars in the back going, there's just really quite a large drift into 13 then. Dragos Biber does set and improves his time. Van Ommen is crossing the line. And puts himself up to P9, so he does improve his time a bit. He's in front of Aton Kovalainen. We are heading towards the 20-minute mark. back across the line and does not improve his time. So, as he does seem to actually invalidate his lap. Just checking the timing. Setting a personal fast set to 1, looking a lot closer to be on pace this time around. Coming all the way down in P23, we've been the slowest of the cars on set of lap, as we do have 2 cars drop out of the session. Don't quite know yet the reasoning behind that. Hopefully they will be rejoining. We've always got a bit of traffic overhead sitting Robert Nygaard, the M6. So let's see. Have to pull over. They're both on time to laps, I believe, so there's not a need for him to pull over, as it is only practice right now. You were a bit of such as I just pull over to the side and let all of them go past. Right to the corner as he goes. Let's see what he just put himself in. This will be his first proper laps time he has done. He'll put himself E8 behind Dentison in front of Kovalainen right now. Stendo is currently sitting at personal fast set to 1 and 2. He is the lone SLS AMG now. He is sticking with that car, and probably will be sticking for the last 2 races of the season after this one. Just crossed the line. Roberts improving his sector 1, was very close to the overall best. Not improving sector 2 though. Our 2 corners can really make an improvement here. He's wrestling around that C6 across the line and will not improve his time. Also improving his time. He's got a little bit of train behind him, consisting of Hillerman's directly behind him and Mark Whitford behind him. A little train is forming there. Don't be too much of an issue though. Just sector 2 time. Car drop out. he does not improve his time, unfortunately. Which one of the other Audis, which is of Tom Dentist. He also improved both Sector 1 and 2 times, getting very close to the global fastest times, but can he keep this going into the final sectors? Oh, Jensen's off the side of the road there. The traffic up ahead because it's Honzig. Let's hope we don't get in too much in the way as he goes to the final 2 corners now. Heads across the line. Let's see what time he does set. Does lose a lot of time in that final sector. Does improve his time, but I don't think he's improved by as much as he would like to have. I'm now going to cross the line. It's Wonzig, the teammate of the current championship leader, all the way down in P21 right now. Way outside of the points playing position. That may put him up the order slightly. Dentist puts himself P2. Getting closer to Honzig's time. As Honzig puts himself P17. Pazek still somewhat struggling in the M6 to get a time in. As he puts him move the order a bit more. Evans improves sector 1 time, he's currently sitting P10, so looking fairly good right now. Now he puts himself right now, and he puts up P4. Interesting top 4 right now, but this is only practice, so it all can change. There's still 10 minutes to go in this session. you're a fan of the BMW M6, it may be your perfect day because the only two cars right now are both E15 and 20 right now. If you're a fan of Mercedes AMGs though, well, you got one in P1 and one in P4. Motegi is looking to improve his times. Up the hill now in the Hello Kitty livery. He moves up to P9, so he moves into the top 10 now. Tom Dentis has improved sector 1 and 2. Can he keep going in sector 3? Is maybe able to take the P1 spot, the top spot right now. There's a slide then, turn 11. Himself home in P. No, he does lose time again. So it seems that final sector is causing him some small issues. So there seems to be a bit more time for people to gain some time before the qualifying session starts. Both Thomas and Tom are both getting fastest sectors, and so is Honzig. Mark Whitford, the 4 cars right now all got fastest sectors at some point. Global fast sectors, that is, so it'll be interesting to see where all of them will end up. Thomas does lose it though on turn 8 and smashes into the wall. His teammates coming through behind him as Honzig is currently actually leading this pack of global pace setters. Maybe some qualifying practice runs right now, judging by the fact that 3 cars now are all in the fast pace right now. Hollands will be the first one of these cars to cross the line, and he extends his lead by quite a significant margin. Then comes Gus Jensen, who will not get into P4. He actually won't move up at all right now. Whitford will be the next one to cross the line. Can he keep the momentum going into the final sector? So the question now, he will cross the line and he will put himself into P2 ahead of his teammate. Once again, he's improved his sector 1, so it's a bit more time still to find out on track. Thomas Jensen also improved as it seems to be a Nissan that's part on the side of the track. They're not the best spot. The hill we go, now we have to start heading back down again. We're impatient with Vinnie Roberts in front. If you really kill close enough to affect him anything, he's going to gain a bit of slipstream. being a short distance away. Across the line will improve his current positioning. Question: will anyone else want to come out and attempt to challenge that time? With 4 minutes to go in the practice session before we head into the qualifying. Not look like anyone. So people got fastest improvements in some sectors. But the area most people seem to be losing out on is their final sector, which is somewhat the hardest sector to really master. So now heads up to P16. And Dentis is looking to improve his time. He goes. Would be enough to put himself back into P2. No, it's not. He does lose some more time in that far sector. So it's starting into the closing moments of this practice session. The last couple of laps we start to head out now. A lot of people will be returning to the pit lane. Across the line, put himself P9. And it's improved time, but it's cutting him very squirmy getting up the hill, it seems, so car's not exactly all at home here, as this will be his last chance to get a lap in. And last chance for most cars to get a solid lap time in. A lot of cars are either returning to the pits now or just doing some regular practice runs or finishing their runs. Just heading into the pit lane. Just going a bit of the grass there. It's a very tricky pit lane to get into. There are some barriers there that's to catch you just in case you do miss it. Barriers though will somewhat damage your vehicle if you hit them, so it's suggested not to hit the barriers on the pit lane entry if you can avoid it. There's Barbie's now heading to the pit lane as well. Makes it round somewhat tidily. Or not, as he clips the wall and spins the car around. This will be the last moments of the session, as Honzi does take P1 in the session, followed by Mark Whitford and Tom Dentist. That being your top three. Driver's briefing will start very shortly. see on screen a professional pit entry. And there we go. We now head into qualifying. Or we should. Depending on if we're waiting for them to join the server. There we go. So, we've got the driver's briefing to go, and is Erwin finally here?
Yes, I am here. My game is somewhat fixed and it's still not entirely working, but it's fine for now. So I'll be able to join in for qualifying and the race.
So surprisingly, the main thing I noticed from that session is Thomas Jensen is not in the top 2. He's not in the top 3, he's not in the top 4. He's currently sitting P5. So he doesn't seem to be able to get near the pace compared to Honzig. Honzig definitely has a clear advantage right now in terms of absolute pace. But we've still got qualifying to go. So, do you manage to catch up at all on the on practice, or you got any predictions in terms of qualifying positions or not?
I wasn't really able to keep up with that, unfortunately. So I know Honzig just took P1, but really that's about all I've been able to see.
I mean, it's some interesting. Mark Whitford managed to get to P2, is pretty impressive from him.
Yeah, that's nice.
Especially since he's complaining earlier about the Audi and struggling a bit with it. Nice to see him somewhat getting to grips with it as and his teammate just behind him. Gonzalez is in P4 in that last session with the Z4. Glad to see that thing doing well. And as I said before, Thomas Jensen in P5, Vinnie Roberts P6 in the Corvette. Marcus Lawrence all the way down to P7 right now. So he's got a bit of work to do to try and get up to those times, especially since he's still leading the championship. He can easily be overtaken right now by one of the other competitors, especially like Thomas Jensen, who is closing the gap very quickly after coming back with a few race wins. So just waiting for the final moments of Joe's briefing to be concluded. Also discussing rolling starts and any other matters which may concern the drivers heading into the race. As we are seeing the first car come out on track, and it is Mark Whitford will be the first car out on track. We're going to get some clean air while he can. See how this qualifying session will go. There are a few disconnects apparently, so I don't know what's going on there. Hopefully we'll be back for the rest of the qualifying session. It's somewhat a short briefing, so they do have a bit of extra time to have a bit of for the outlap. Right behind Mark Whitford right now is Atten Kovalainen in one of the other Audis, and somewhat interesting, midway halfway the season we have got a resurgence of Audis again. It's quite interesting that car being used again. A tyre warming going down the back straight as such. The longest straight actually on the track. He will be crossing the line very close to the 20-minute mark, so final 2 corners he goes. Can he get a good exit to start his timed lap? Then towards the line now. And away we go for the first qualifying lap of this race session. See what sort of time you can set. Of course, all the cars this time around will all be in qualifying trim, so fuel tanks as empty as possible without running out of fuel. Now head through turn 4, start heading out of the oval section as such, because the rest of the track is obviously outside the oval. So he goes underneath that said oval, up towards turn 6. This is where the Audi will be very strong indeed. The Audi does have a lot of good traction and in the corners, a lot of downforce compared to some of the other cars. Slightly lacks out on top speed, which will be made up for by its cornering ability as he heads through the S's as such into turn 9. And now starts looking up to turn 10. There's a car in front. I believe that car in front of him right now is Alexander Stecker, unless he can prove me otherwise. I believe it is, because I see more white as well, white SLS. I say AMG. I know it is an SLS in the race, but it's not there. Into turn 11. On a few corners. Stays just about in track there for the final corner, which is, and we'll put the first time lap as a 1:48.3. Thomas Jones will be selling 1:47.7, followed by Honzig just behind him, just gets that invalidated apparently. So Honzig not having the best of time right now. Because line puts up P4. Honzig struggles a bit there on rear traction on the final corner and will lose a bit of time there as he crosses the line. He'll put himself P7. So getting some all the time start rolling in now. I'm seeing P3 by a second down on Thomas Jensen's top time. The question is, can anyone get towards that top time? Jensen was P5 during practice, but it could very well be a case of saving the best until qualifying, as he is improving one of his sectors once again. Oh, the car behind him, not so much. He's yet to set a time. Gonzalez puts a time in, puts 1:48.1. Crosses the line and you put himself, well, previous time, but keeps himself P5. Roberts does have an incident, it seems at turn 10.
Honzig just took P1.
Yeah, Honzig just took P1.
Just slightly ahead of Jensen, not much in it between them. Caleb Gonzalez sets new fastest sector 1.
Quite well in the Z4, which I haven't seen at the front for quite a while now. Not since season 2.
Yeah, that's been a while as he improves sector 2 as well.
Nice to see that little car back at the top, as I believe someone has jumped really far. I think that was Hillerman's jumping up to P4 right now. He sets his first time.
Thomas Jensen is also on a fast run right now, so he's going faster than Gonzalez through sectors 1 and 2.
Honzig is setting fastest times as well.
Yeah, Honzig just set a sector 2 time, though it's not as fast as Jensen's sector 2.
Gonzalez through the
Anyway,
final
Caleb Gonzalez is about to cross the line. Let's see if he can take P1 for now. No, he doesn't. He lost a lot of time in the final sector. So Thomas Jansen coming up next.
under the oval he goes through the final 2 corners right now. Turn 12, turn 13. I think it's Honzig right behind him. Yes, Honzig is behind him, so does take P1. Can Honzig take it back? No, he can't.
Still very close between them though, so really either one of them could take it from now on.
Tom Dent has yet to set a time, as he was pretty far up the order in practice, so got a bit of work to do. Hopefully we're going to be crossing the line next as he in his Audi's going to P5. Doesn't look like it'd be much of an improvement. No, it's not. Not at all. Gonzalez on for another improved lap.
Jürgen Walby is also making some big improvements right now.
I believe we saw James Butler off in the gravel there at turn 11, so obviously broke a bit too late. Gonzalez through the final corners. He's going to, what time he's going to set? Will it be an improvement or not? Look like it will be. Will be improved up to P15. Dentis is looking to move up the order. He's currently down P8 after his first time lap, but this lap looking to get a bit closer, possibly into P3 territory. Turn 11. Final 2 corners. That's towards the finish line now. It's got Bastian Brunner in front. He's up to P4. Oh, and Omen just spins it at turn 11. Nothing goes on there with his car, puts a switch power down. Honzig's looking to improve his time. Thomas Jensen is improving global fastest sectors right now, both sector 1 and 2. He's trying to extend his qualifying lead. now using all the curb he can get away with before getting an off track. He does extend his lead by quite a significant margin in the end.
Yeah, that is quite a big one, as Jörg Ordner currently in P9 is improving as he comes around the final corner. Let's see where he ends up when he crosses the line now, and he moves up to P8, so he gains 1 position out of that lap, ahead of Marcus Lawrence.
The other drivers are looking to improve their current positioning, being Alexander Secker, Sebastian Bunier, Robert Piatek, and Gonzalez Julian Bonzik. Under 10 minutes to go now. He does lose it in the final corner into the barriers there. A bit too much power there, lost a bit too much traction. Unfortunately, lost some of his time completely. A disconnect. It was fairly high up the order as well.
See, was it Elements?
I think it might be, as I see no Haribo livery anymore. I think they'll try to move around in the top 5 positions.
Sebastian Bunier moves up to 15th position.
Thomas Johnson seems to find some time somewhere, because he's 0.4 a second up on the rest of the field right now.
Yeah, no one's really getting close to him right about now, so let's see once I can do anything. But
ooh, Kovalainen loses it.
He will.
Kovalainen loses on turn 8. Back end was a bit slippery then. Loses it on trying to rejoin the track.
Victor Berlin crosses the line and moves to 16. As forward Nygaard is about to cross the line as well. And he does not move up.
So it seems most people are now just doing some sort of laps, not improving anywhere just right now.
Yeah. Honzik is on track right now, but he's not able to match any of Jensen's sectors.
Alright, perhaps let's improve his sector 1. And the M6 BMW is really struggling, it does seem, as all the Z4s right now are ahead of them on track.
Honzik goes for a personal improvement in sector 1, but he's still 1/10 behind Thomas.
Let's go across the line and stays P21.
Honzik did not improve his second sector, so he's struggling to even match his own time, let alone that of Jensen.
I mean, he's been out for a few laps now, I think, so his tyres not going to be as fresh as they would be. Obviously, he's going to get less fuel as well, but he does retire to the pit lane. Marcus Lawrence is looking to improve his time. He's still living on P7, just in front of his nearest championship rival. I'm pretty sure Kovalainen still is second in the championship somehow, just holding on to it. Saying that though, Lawrence does move up in position. With 2 minutes approaching. Don't think we're going to see many more time improvements at this point. Brings up to P20. Under a minute to go though, not many people will be able to finish off their laps now.
Doesn't seem to be anyone on a fast lap right now either.
Nope.
Jordan Lansing improved his sector 1, but not sector 2, so maybe he can still gain a little in the final sector, maybe overtake Jogan Walby for P13, but
Is that if there's enough time? That is. He's got 30 seconds to complete it.
Yeah, I think he can should be able to just about make it to the finish
Just
line.
about be close. He will just about make it. There we go. So Thomas Jensen does take pole, followed by Honzig, Gonzalez, Dentis, Whitford, Kovaline, Lawrence, Orsner, Oman, and Roberts rounds off your top 10. As we now head into the race. First, the cars will start lining up on the grid. And soon commence the rolling start. As if everyone actually gets up on the track. So, just from qualifying, any predictions?
Well, from just this qualifying pace, the Thomas Jensen should be able to win this one quite easily, but of course you never quite know for sure, as qualifying and race can be quite different.
There was a little bit of an incident just in the thing, I think. Armand forgot his rolling start and launched into the back of Lawrence's Nissan.
Yeah, there seemed to be something up with Marcus Lawrence. I wasn't able to catch what happened, but he looked a bit sideways, standing still there.
Up towards the turn 11 they all head. Turn 10, I keep getting mixed up for some reason. Let's see how this will pan out. Down onto the second pit straight. Hellemans apparently had an internet issue, which is unfortunately has dropped him out of the race. Which is very unfortunate because he was doing fairly well in qualifying. So, all in the limiter now as all bunch up together. Through the final corners they go. Honzig's right on the back of that Bentley.
Yeah, that's about as close as you can get.
Oh, and that may unfortunately cost me as they are all going racing now. As Gonzalez might be trying to make a move from Honzig. No, he doesn't. Stays behind him for now. He'll get through throw safe. I think Victor Berlin's going to make a move, and Sebastian Bruni in the background there. Yes, he is. Down the inside of Sebastian. And Sebastian made a cut back. No, he doesn't. So Victor's made up a place already on the start. It's a pretty good launch from him.
Dentis goes down the inside of Gonzalez, but he doesn't make it and
loses out.
That's allowed Whitford to get a little bit closer to him.
These two are teammates. They may be doing some sort of extra communicating to somewhat defend the position. As they've got Kovaline right behind them as well, so. Just see how these go up as they head up through the first time at race speed for turn 6 through the S's they go. Lawrence looks as though possible move on Kovaline there. so far. All cars somewhat managed to keep somewhat clean for the most part.
Yeah, Johnson already 1.3 seconds ahead of Honzik.
He's got made quite a good go. And Honzig's idea was, I think actually somewhat cost him. He had to sort of brake to not hit the back of him, and then that's all when Thomas Jensen launched. So not the exact best timing there for him as they complete one lap. And that is one lap, full race lap completed now. Goes by, looks out to possibly make a move on to Thomas Olsson. Let's hold back for one more lap, it does seem. Swanzig's going to possibly make a move on to Warby. We takes a defensive line into turn 3, but was slow as exit, and Swanzig goes down the inside, possibly Victor Berlin as well. As they're going, those two are going side by side, right behind, and it looks like Berlin has made the place up. Managed to make 2 places up already on the start of this race. Philip Roberts is going side by side with Herman going into the S's. Really crazy stuff going on there with the Corvette trying to make a move on to the Mercedes.
They've been close for a little while now, so it looks like Roberts is just trying to find an opportunity to overtake.
Moved a bit too much there, and that cost him some speed it seems, because Sekker's right in the back of him now. Berlin's made a move on Wanzig as well, going up in before turn 10. So Richard's somewhat on a roll right now in terms of overtakes. He's up into P13. Bruno's right on the back of Orby now. He's got Corvette for company behind him as well. Oh, and a bit of good contact behind of Robert Nygaard's ended up in the barrier. He lost a position out of that. What happened there with Richard Vandenhoven? He pulls over to the side to let him back through, so nothing really needs to be done there. A bit unfortunate, bit of contact going on. Sebastian Bruno's looking to make a move on, possibly Warby right now. Holds back for now. The leaders have somewhat made spaces up. So Ordnance now around the back of Marcus Lawrence and the Nissan.
Victor Berlin. Oh, he had a look up the inside of Sutherland, but didn't decide to go for it. So they are side by side now. There's a bit of touching. Oh, Victor spins.
Oh, he won't be able to recover it. No, he doesn't. He's going to lose a bunch of positions now, bound to P18. And he loses it on
for another spin into the barrier.
Oh, this is not the play he wants to be at all.
Getting on the throttle a bit too early, I think.
He's a bit more traction control on, and he's now down to P23, so way out of the points now. He's going to be kicking himself a bit now. He's in front of the little pack now, where Warby's now around the back of Wanzig.
we move it up the inside next corner? No, he won't.
Behind them, it seems that Thomas Olsen is getting very close to the back of Sunderland as well. Master Bruno gets a bit squirrely there, behind Bunzig right now.
Jörg Ortner is slipstreaming Marcus Lawrence. Can he do anything into the inside of the next corner? No, he's actually losing a bit of speed through there, so seems he was not quite able to keep up with the top speed of Marcus Lawrence.
This one is known for being quick in a straight line. As behind these lot, Olsen's going to make the inside move into turn 11. Can't really make it. This and does somewhat chop his nose off a tiny bit. He does have to stay behind for a few more laps, it does seem. He almost loses it then, and Jaggers Bible managed to get past him, it does seem. These wheels are going side by side right now into turn 1. Ribus goes around the outside, possibly. Yes, he does. He does lose a little bit of position there from lack of traction. Baldwin is still right behind that Nissan though right now.
Yeah, I think they've been close for a little while now, but it seems that Ortner just hasn't really had the opportunity to overtake, because every time there's a straight, Marcus gains a bit of time on him. Well, Marcus is also looking at Krivalainen in front of him.
There's like possibly all might another go on Lawrence. Lawrence is trying to make another go on Kovalainen as well, so they're trying to close the gap down. Looks lost a bit. Sebastian Bruno has somewhat gained on the back of Orby as well.
Yeah, Jörg is again losing time on the straight, so that's going to make it very difficult to find an overtaking opportunity, as the rest of the all the corners on this track are rather tight and twisty. So you kind of need straight line speed to overtake.
Luckily, he's got the advantage about the Atikova Linens in front. The Audi is also not very good in the straight line, so this time may be somewhat held up. Oh, and he's going to make the move now into turn. Ooh, that was very close then. Possibly a move going to be made there, but doesn't look like it's going to happen for now. Sebastian is now right behind Wolby still as they begin to get the hill, unless the car behind them is slowly closing up on this lot as well. Wolby's going to have possibly another go on Bunzig, maybe, no. Bives are looking for a move on Sunderland, though. They go through the final few corners once again. Bit better Sutherland still somewhat struggling to get back up. He is gaining onto Robert Nygaard behind, but got a lot of ground to make up. May have to do some wacky pitch strategy to possibly get him back into the game again.
Maybe worth the shot. Sebastian Brunier is still close to Walby, but it's kind of just difficult to find an overtaking opportunity on this track.
Sebastian's going to possibly make the move. Ooh.
We have a look down the inside, but oh, gets a bit of oversteer there as well.
Yep, a bit too much power down.
Behind them, there's Dragon's Pipe and Robert Sutherland still fighting things out.
So this little pack of cars maybe slowly getting stuck together. Walden's still trying to make a move onto Lawrence. He's just trying to make a move onto Kovalainen up ahead. Looks like a bit of work to do, as a quarter of the race has gone now.
Oh, it seems Jorgen Walby has run wide and he's lost the position to Sebastian Brunier.
Yes, and we've got possibly the cars behind him also trying to make a move now. No, they can't quite capitalise
Yeah, Sutherland
enough.
got very close to making a move there, but he was not able to.
Doing anything. Vibe pulls out to the side somewhat. Yeah, Walby has lost their position now, and it's got the old Sunderland right behind him.
Oh, Dragon's Pipe and Robin Sutherland. Pipe looking on the outside.
Oh, Sunderland goes down the inside, so a bit ambitious
a bit of contact there, and Sutherland loses out to Pipe.
Not too bad for him then, could have been a lot worse. Just a bit ambitious there, somewhat going for the defensive move on Pipe, but then also making the overtake onto Walby at the same time is a bit not the safest thing to do, as he loses it on turn 8. Let's go back and find Lucky cuts in front of his teammate again as he goes understeers off at turn 9, so not a very good sequence of corners. He loses position to Radek as well. He's lost a lot of positions out of that.
Meanwhile, the fight for P6 between Kovalainen, Lawrence and Ortner is still going on, but none of them seem to be able to really do anything. Their pace seems to be very equal. Ortner seems to be closing up on Lawrence in the corners, but he just can't keep up on the straight, even in the slipstream.
This will be a case of how the pit stops go for these lot. They definitely are got very similar race pace across the board right now. Walby is also closing the back of Brunier.
Walby and Brunier are side by side. Brunier defends on the inside.
Yeah. Looks like we'll hold the corner off another. Will be someone in a Z4 sandwich right now. As
Yeah.
Live is also getting very close to these two right now. This is just on the outside of getting points. P14 is the first place where you actually get more than just a singular point. There's basically a fight over 1 point, basically. As Honzig's closed down onto Thomas Jensen, so...
Ooh, that's interesting.
Jensen made a mistake. I think he might have, because everyone else seems to have closed down on him as well. What's going on there? Some issues possibly for our leader right now, who's led every single race since... every single lap since the start. See how well that goes, as Lawrence is still on the back of Antti Kovalainen.
I think this battle is something that's going to be decided in the pits if any of these take a risky strategy and don't change tires. That could spice things up, but as it stands, I think they will end in this order if there's nothing, no interesting strategies happening. You can see Jork again getting close at the start of the straight and then just losing some time. He has to look
Sebastian's
up the inside.
off. Sebastian's off. He's lost it at turn 9. And he's dropping down the Orden. He's going to be exiting P22.
Yeah, 22 as he gets overtaken by Berlin now.
So I don't know what happened there, but he's lost a ton of positions there.
Yeah, he's fallen all the way to the back.
And Dragos Bibe has lost some time onto Woolby, so he might have been involved as well.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Mark Whitford's lost some time because Kovalainen's closing on the back of him. So it seems that some people's tyres are a bit more worn than others right now.
Seems Honzik is also faster than Thomas Jensen right now.
Something's up.
Honzik was 3/10 faster on the last lap. He's getting pretty close now.
Yeah, he's reliably close now. It's not just 1 lap and Jensen's are sped off in the distance. It seems to be a case of some cars' tyres are slowly going out here. Holden's still on the back of Lawrence. There's still about 5 minutes to go before the proper pit stop window will be open for these drivers.
About a tenth faster than Jensen on the last lap, so they're very close in pace now.
So something might have gone on Jensen's tyres. Or he's going to do some fuel saving strategies. Maybe that might come okay. Take a bit less fuel in the pit stops and maybe have a faster second stint. That gap is definitely close. It's like nearly 2-3 seconds on the first few laps, and it's all the way down to under half a second right now.
Yes, so let's see what happens now that we're getting ever closer to the pit window. It seems if Jensen is struggling with the tires, he might want to stop a bit early.
If you stop a bit early, then that means at the end of the race you're going to also have dead tyres, so...
Yes, but he might try to avoid losing track position or something.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. Still hanging on the back there, and the back of Warby's in the back of Wanzig. Dendo's in the back of Olsen, so there's going to be a lot of people are struggling with their tyres, and this sort of reminds you of Suzuka in Season 2. There was a massive issue with tyres then, due to the nature of the track, those are high-speed corners where you put a lot of stress on those tyres, so it may be a repeat of that. People pushing a bit too hard on their tyres, and the people which are more soft on their tyres are going to be having a slight advantage when it comes to race pace. Not race pace, I mean stints.
Just notice, it seems Lawrence has gotten past Kyvalainen and Ortner moves up the inside of Kyvalainen. And he was not able to do anything there, but he did get pretty close.
The gap from Mark Whitford is definitely closing. As he is very close to the back of that Audi now, so Kovalainen might be panicking a bit as his championship rival has overtaken him as well now, so not in the best spot right now.
Thomas Sayek is in the pit lane and is now driving out. So he's just had the first pit stop of the race as he's weaving a bit in the pit lane. Was unfortunately not able to catch what he did in terms of tires, but I think he did probably change tires considering how far back he is now.
Orden's going side by side with Kovalainen now heading down to turn 11. Has to pull back, doesn't have the speed. He's lost all the speed coming up the slipstream. But definitely in that pit stop window now, so we should be starting to see some pit stops coming through. Question is when will the people in the top 10 start doing it? Bonzig is still hovering around the 0.4 second area on Jensen. As Order's going down the inside at turn 2. They're going to stay side by side heading into turn 3 now. Overline with the inside line. Going to go around the outside. He'll try to. He's got a bit of extra traction with that Porsche. Porsche someone on the curb and they're still going. Still side by side and possibly all going Orden's favour now heading into turn 5. Getting very, very, very close indeed. Still going. Turn 6, will it still be like this? Quite possibly Kovalainen is not backing down at all. Looks like Ordner will have to be, one of them will have to back down, and it does seem like Ordner will be that person. They don't know, it's going to have possibly another go heading into turn 9. Possibly a bit too far away, or maybe not.
No, things are also getting tense between Honzik and Jensen.
Order's going to go for the outside move at turn 10. While there's all fights happening, Lawrence has gone off down the road a bit. Try and chase down Mark Whitford. Will Order pull out? He will pull out for the turn 11. Will make them get in front of Kovalainen. Can Kovalainen fight back? Not really. It seems as Order's finally made the move into P7.
While that was happening, there was some side-by-side action between
Marcus
Jensen and
Lawrence
Honzik.
Lawrence
in the pits.
Lawrence in the pits, I believe.
Yes, he is.
That's our first of the top runners in the pits right now, as our leaders are having fight right now.
He did overshoot his pit box a bit, so he's had to reverse back, so that's cost him about a second, I think. Lawrence is changing tires. And Robin Sutherland is also in the pits.
Honzig's dropped a bit back off Jensen, so has Kovalainen for a bit. As they're going to approach one of the back markers right now of James Butler and the McLaren.
And Robin Sutherland did not change tires, and he's getting back out on track. Lawrence also getting back out there, and Berlin is in the pits changing tires.
Interesting, I thought Berlin wouldn't bother changing tyres and positions. Honzig's going for a very late lunge, possibly. No, he's not, it's a bit too far away now. As they're going to hit halfway, will one of these cars dive into the pit lane? No, they won't. They'll stay out for one more lap, or maybe two. Honzig's definitely got the pace now to keep up, so whatever Jensen was doing in the first 15 minutes, he's got to somehow recreate that after the pit stops to possibly get away with this win.
Berlin is back out on track, and I think he just got lapped well in the pit lane.
Oh, Honzig's gone down the inside of Thomas Jensen into turn 4 and has made the move. And looks like he's going to keep it for a while now.
It'll be interesting to see if any of these two are going to dive into the pit lane now.
I can see Thomas Jensen trying to do it, but also see Honzig trying to do it.
Jan van Ommen is in the pit lane, and so is Jorgen Walby. Ommen did not change tires. He's getting back out there. Walby is changing tires. Maxim van den Hoven and Sebastian Buurnier are also in the pits.
Worth knowing that Gonzalez is also close in the back of the leaders right now.
Yeah.
There was all fighting going on, has brought Gonzalez possibly into a good position to possibly make a move if they keep going.
Van den Hoven and Buurnier are also changing tires now. Jorgen Walby rejoins the track.
Oh, and Honzig's going to pits. Honzig's in the pit, and so is Gonzalez.
Caleb Gonzalez, yes.
So the pit lane's getting very busy right now, with cars somewhat shooting everywhere.
Yes, I'm keeping my eye on Honzig in this battle for the lead. And Honzig is changing tires.
Gonzalez is going to do now, as Gonzalez might be changing his rear tyres from the looks of things, as the Kovalainen has pulled in the pits as well. As Honzig's now on the move again, pulling out just behind Bendo. Gonzalez will be. Oh, Kovalaine's not taking tyres.
Oh, that's very interesting.
And
so
he's just pulled out just in front of Honzig.
Yeah, just in front of Honzig, and with Caleb Gonzalez right behind him.
So that's going to throw a curveball into this. Let's see what Thomas Jensen does now.
Jorgen Wanzink is also getting back out there.
This actually may play into. This is going to play into Thomas Jensen's favour. Because obviously he won't have the traffic to deal with. So
Dando rejoins the track in 17th. I'm not sure if he changed tires actually. Yeah, I'm not sure he did.
As Kovalaine's going to have to deal with an overtake from Honzig, and so he does. The question is, when will Thomas Jensen go into the pits?
That's a good question.
It'll be very shortly, as now Honzig does have clean air now. Somewhat, he's got a bit of back markers to deal with. No, it's not a back marker, his own man's actually in front of him on track. Has Omen pitted yet? I'm assuming he hasn't.
Amon has pitted, but he did not change tires.
So he is fight for position. Thomas Jensen's still out. Gonzalez is right behind Kovalainen now.
Jörg Ortner is in the pits.
He's in the pits. He's pitted from P5, I believe. As Gonzalez possibly making a move on Kovalainen.
And Jörg Ortner did not change tires. So he rejoins the track in 7th position.
A very quick pit fuel stop then, as Honzig is going to...
Thomas Olsen also getting into the pits. So not the Thomas we were looking forward to, but...
Oh, Kovalainen's back in the pits again.
Ooh.
Oh, don't be another repeat of Laguna Seca from last season.
And Thomas Olsen also
Yes,
getting
it.
back
Oh
on track.
no, Kovalainen!
Drive-through penalty for Kovalainen, it seems.
And he's going to be pulling out behind, just in front of the cars his strategy was meant to get him away from. Disaster for Kovalainen. Just what he didn't need to happen. Honzo's got past his teammate. Gonzalez is now going to make some moves to possibly overtake Omen, but might be why Convoy wasn't fighting too much against Honzig. There's no real point, and he got a drive-through penalty.
I think the race room janky pit limiter strikes again.
I mean, if you remember the Laguna Seca from season 3, where you got, I think, 2 drive-through penalties.
Yeah.
And he got sent down all the way from the audience, running like P5 or P4. Got first one midfield, but back of the field, and it was just some flashbacks from that.
Mark Whitford is in the pits.
So a very late pit stop from him. Tom Dentis is yet to be in the pits, and so the top 4 have yet to pit. Thomas Jensen's got 11-second lead over Tom Dentist.
Whitford is on the jacks changing tires right now. Whitford rejoins in P12, right behind Caleb Gonzalez.
Gonzalez got Robert Nygaard to deal with. Nygaard's yet to pit though, so we putting too much resistance up. No, he doesn't. Someone lets him just get past there into turn 5, very cleanly done. But Orton is up the road from these two. The question is, does Jensen have a big enough gap to cars around him to put tyres on, or will he have to? We have to risk it because Order's gained up.
In the pits now.
Jensen is still out.
I think he might risk it. As I think Tom Dentist is risking it.
Oh, this is getting very interesting, this race now. So many people not taking tyres this race, it does seem.
Right, so Tom Dentist rejoins in 3rd position.
Just going to be ahead of Jaggers
looks like
Vibe.
he'll stay ahead of Jaggers Vibe. And Alexander Stecher is in the pits.
Honzus has dealt with Radek Palzek, who's yet to pit. Honzig's now got Ordner to chase now. Ordner being on old tyres. Honzig being on freshest tyres now. Have been used for about 10 minutes now. Let's see how long they will last.
I'm not sure what's going on with Sacher, because he's spending quite a lot of time in the pits, but he doesn't seem to be changing tires. Yeah, I think something's gone wrong in the pits for Alexander Sacher, as he's dropped all the way down to 23rd now.
Yeah, he's dropped down.
As he is now changing tires.
Obviously forgot to confirm the stop or something maybe.
Yeah, I think that would be the most logical explanation, as Sacher has retired and Vinnie Roberts is in the pits.
And obviously he was currently P2. Motegi is definitely closing the gap though on the back of Ordner, as there's under a second now.
Drakos Pipe is also in the pit lane.
Oh, and Honza's going down the inside into turn 1. And it looks like he made a very, very, very clean move there. That's moving way back into P3. 11 seconds though behind Tom Dentist. Good news for Thomas Jensen though. Thomas Jensen's got a ton of time. He can probably safely take tyres and still be ahead of Thomas Dentist.
Roberts and Pipe are both putting some fresh rubber on.
Under 20 minutes to go.
So Roberts is about to rejoin the track, and he will rejoin in 16th position it seems. 17th actually, as he just got overtaken by Thomas Sajak.
So it's got Radek Pałzek to deal with. As Radek has not pitted yet, so Radek is somewhat out of these guys' race. As he's going for a break.
Pipe rejoins, and does he stay ahead of Victor Berlin? Yeah, just about.
Oh, okay, so
Jensen in the pits.
Jensen's in the pit, so it's all based off what the dentist can do now.
And Jensen is out of the pits.
Not taking tyres.
Yeah. With that said though, Honzik is about 26 seconds behind with just over 18 minutes left in the race.
Dentist could have possibly overtaken him there. As he's just gone past the pits now. So Honzik, out of the top 4 runners, is the only one on fresh tyres. Everyone in front of him is on worns.
So that's going to get very interesting indeed.
I think it's the first time.
Actually, Dentist being there might help Jensen out.
Let's see how well Dentist can fire. Let's see, because Dentist is going to be trying to hold this position as much as he can. I think it's the first race in ages where the top runner's main strategy is no tyres.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
It's always been that like one driver does the no tyre strategy to try and gain a position or something, but
yeah,
the fact that all of them but Honzik have done it is
very unexpected turn of events.
Especially at this track. I thought this track would be harsh on the tyres. Obviously not.
Yeah, it's a very tight track, so normally you'd expect them to be.
You've got lots of fast corners. You're gonna put lots of load into them. You're gonna torturing them, and then like just have this happen where obviously people don't feel there's enough overtaking opportunities where the tyres matter. I guess because that's the logic behind the Zandvoort. Why it's worked at Zandvoort famously was he can't overtake anywhere apart from a couple of positions. So to places where the tyres actually matter in the end, you can just hold them up long enough. I don't know, Honzik has made very quick work of everyone so far on the outside. Oh, Dentist in the pit again. The Dentist.
Yeah, he is.
What's going on here now? So that looks like...
That's interesting.
It's going to have to be a drive-through penalty. It has to be. He's going to lose position to both.
Yeah, so that was a drive-through penalty.
Oh no, Dentist!
He moves all the way down to P4, might even go... Yeah, P5.
Oh
Behind
no.
Gonzalez.
Disaster strikes of 2 Audis.
Radek Polexak and Robert Nygaard are both in the pits now, so that's a very late stop. I actually didn't realize they hadn't stopped yet.
They're getting very late on those tyres indeed. An undermanned.
So Radek is getting back out there. So no tire change for him, and same thing for Robert Nygaard.
Kovalainen though, despite the fact that he's had to do another stop, he's right on the back of Wanzig. So he's going to keep pushing, it does seem, with even on this botch strategy. As the car gets a bit very loose and on behind, he's definitely keeping up with him. It does look like Thomas Jensen not taking the tyres have somewhat sealed him staying P1, so it's all about who makes the mistake first.
Jurgen Walby just got past Thomas Sayek, so he moves up to 16th position.
Gonzalez is now right behind Orzanen now as well. Well, he's at least closing the gap, he's near a second now.
Oh, Thomas Olsen has spun.
He spun, he's turn 9.
Yeah, oh, there's difficulty getting back onto the track, and he moves down
1,
to
2, 3, 4,
P17.
5, possibly 6. Rowan Nygaard's back behind him now. What happened there? I don't really know.
I'm not sure either. I switched cameras and he was suddenly spinning.
Gonzalez is right on the back of Orzanen now. Gonzalez is again on fresh tyres.
Anton Kyvalainen and Wanzig are side by side on the straight. Kyvalainen on the inside. And it looks like Wanzig has had to concede that position.
Well, and Kovalainen there, again on the worn tyres, so...
Vinnie Roberts has made the move on Thijs Dendo. So Roberts takes P11. Now Gonzalez is getting very close to Jörg Ortner.
Round the outside,
Side by
turn 9, can't do it, has to stay behind for another lap. Ortner will probably take the defensive line coming into turn 10, or does he? No, he goes for the outside, leaving the gap somewhat open to Gonzalez, but Gonzalez not quite close enough to make anything happen right now. Got some behind.
Ooh, Gonzalez.
A bit of a touch there with Ortner. Gonzalez now side by side with Ortner heading to turn 1 now. He's going to have the inside line, can Ortner fight back? Doesn't really can, he's somewhat on the disadvantage line, and Gonzalez moves up into P3.
Robert Nygaard just got past Olsen. Nygaard moves up to 17th. And Victor Berlin is side by side with Dragos Vibe. Vibe is on the inside. We go around the corner now and see. Can Berlin make his way past? Oh, there's a bit of contact there.
Around the outside, a bit more contact.
A lot of rubbing between these two. As Berlin moves behind Vibe to get a bit of slipstream before the next corner.
Sorry, just looking at how big the AMG is compared to the Z4.
This is not the M8.
Not the M8, but side by side now going down into turn 3. As Vibe has the inside line still. like Vic's going to be a bit better, more traction
Yeah.
there, and does manage to hang it round the outside there and does make the position work.
Berlin just able to carry a bit more speed through that corner.
But Biber's going to make the cutback move onto turn 5. The inside line for the next corner as well. Victor's still just about ahead, but he can't oh, there we go.
Oh.
Biber's definitely...
I'm still getting very close, but it looks like Berlin has made his way past proper now. Although, oh! That's a big touch there. As Biber's not giving up easily.
A bit of contact there, pushes Berlin off. He's going to have to go for the outside line now. And he's not for points. You don't gain any points for these positions.
Yeah.
You gain 1 point for finishing. But these guys are going out like they're fighting for the lead. But there you go.
Oh, maybe the top 18 will suddenly disconnect, and then.
Then they got a point. Biber's not letting getting away easily, is he?
Jordan Wolby is getting ever closer to Thijs Dendo. He moves to the inside into turn 3. Old Mercedes versus new Mercedes. And the new Mercedes is in front.
I just realised something. Is it just me, or is Tom Dentis in P5?
He is in P5.
Have we got lower than that? I'm getting confused, aren't I? I'm getting confused between the two Audis. It's 2 of them. Sorry about that. Ignore me. I'm getting very confused between my Audis. I forgot that both Kovalainen and Tom Dentis got drive-throughs, and on the timing thing, they're right above each other on the spectator tool. Biber's still going at Berlin, may I add. And Lawrence might be able to go Oman as well very shortly. As Oman does lose it there at turn 11. So Lawrence does move up into P7. Not what Kovalainen wants to see at all.
Yeah, well, championship leader Lawrence in P7 is not really where he'd want to be either.
Mark Whitford is in front of them as well. Radek Percek is right behind Thomas Siek.
Vinnie Roberts is getting very close to Jordan Wansink. So will Roberts try to go down the inside? No, he won't. He goes to the outside and takes the inside for the next corner.
Oh,
and he gets ahead of Wansink.
Dives across to the plate. Let's break the slipstream if all possible. He has made the move work, and he's now
nicely done.
Now up into P10.
Oh, I was about to say Dragons Biber and Victor Berlin were very close, but Biber just had a big bit of oversteer, and he's lost a second just about to Berlin. Seems like he got just a little bit too close in the corner there. Oh, Biber moves onto the grass. Not sure what's happening here.
Doesn't lose too much time, it seems, but what's happened there?
Yeah, he did lose about half a second. Actually, yeah, half a second to a second to Berlin.
Radek's made the move on to Thomas Siek, but Radek is off as well, but so does Thomas Seck, so does Robert Nygaard. So a bunch of the M6s go off there and lose positions. Possibly Radek loses another position to the Corvette as well. Yes, he does. He can't quite hang around it. And oh, he goes for the cutback though. He's keeping that going. Oh, a bit of contact there with the Corvette going a bit slowly there, and it's Robert Nygaard to get very close as well. In the background, you can see Victor Berlin trying to close the gap as well. Mark Whitford's closing the gap on his teammate right now. The two M6s are lined in a little group right now, with Victor Berlin closing the gap on them. Wolby's closing the gap on Wanzig. Five minutes left to go. Whitford's very close to the back of his teammate right now. Let's see what happens here if they will allow each other to
Berlin moves to the inside of Nygaard. And looks like Nygaard just about stays ahead. Although Berlin will still be very close on the start-finish straight now. Getting closer and closer. Nygaard moves to the inside to defend.
Orby's made the move on Wanzig at some point as well, just up ahead, up the road.
Oh, Berlin goes down the inside and looks like he's just about managed to make his way past Nygaard now.
And Vibe's going to possibly make a move as well.
Vibe goes
That's
to
the
the inside.
BMWs go down the inside. But Vibe managed to capitulate on Nygaard's making a mistake there and managed to put the position up.
Nygaard losing 2 positions there.
Kenny Roberts is now closing on the back of Kovalainen. And Mark has got in front of Tom Dentis, so it does seem these two are going to be fighting each other. We'll get to see, but Mark is now definitely in front.
On the fight for the lead, I think Thomas Janssen will take it this race. As I don't think Wanzig is gaining fast enough.
It's 3 minutes to go, anything can happen.
Past him. Yeah.
Oh, Victor Burns going to make a move on Radek. And he does. So Vibe is trying to make a move now onto Radek himself. So just the Vibe's just going for every move that Victor makes and they're sort of trying to sneak around it.
Yeah. Well, what I was about to say is Wanzig was about 2 seconds faster than Janssen on the last lap, so it might still be a chance as Vibe gets past.
Yeah, Radek makes a little mistake.
Who made a mistake there.
Berlin's now on the back of Olsen. Still at the points playing position. You get to see P14 before you start getting any serious points. Well, I mean, serious points, you get 1 extra point. You get 2 points for P14.
Okay, point matters as Berlin moves to the inside. And yeah, he does go for the move. And he makes his way past.
His way up into P16.
Drago's Vibe is on the inside of Olsen. Vibe makes his way past and... Oh no! Olsen moves back, but not quite able to make that one.
Nope.
Though he might still try here, no he won't.
Oh, that was a big bit of contact there. Vibes just... Luckily no one loses control there. Burns going to make a move now on Thomas Siek as well. And he's going to go around the outside. And he does, with 1 minute to go. And he manages to be P15. Unfortunately, he won't be able to close 3.8 seconds in that time. So far, he's...
Yeah, I doubt he can still get past Sutherland unless Sutherland makes a mistake.
But so far, he's doing somewhat very good overtakes right now.
Yeah.
Very clean overtake, so it's a bit unfortunate you did have that incident very early on in the race because he would have been up the order somewhat, but he's doing a very good comeback drive right now as he's now moved to P15 after pit stopping for tyres as well, so he's doing well. Andreas Biber is now trying to close in the back of Thomas Siek with under 1 minute 20 seconds to go. Where is Tom? So it's going to be one more lap. This has been the last lap actually now. As Thomas Jensen is now heading through turn 4 right now, just lapping the back markers right now. You can see Honzig just in the background there as the timer does reach 0.
It looks like Jensen will take this one.
He's going to be counting down the corners now though.
Yeah.
Andreas Biber is closing back on Siek right now. As the traffic may go in. Oh! Honzig's taking front damage. Honzig might have a little incident there. He's got front damage in the front of his car.
Yeah, he's also dropped a bit of time.
Quite a bit of time, so something must have happened there.
Still set to take second though.
Yeah.
I don't think this will affect his.
I think at this point he's just going to cruise it back now on the last lap. No point.
Yeah.
Risk
Didn't
it.
really have a chance to.
This car's very loose. Like it's not. It's a couple of times the rear end stuck out. Might be the reason why he's taking new tyres. Tom Dentist is behind his teammate right now. He's closing the gap down, but I don't think any of these two will be pushing much either. As Thomas Jensen will cross the line, taking home another victory at Motegi. With Honzig taking home P2. Followed by Gonzalez, who takes home a very well done P3. After being a bit absent from the last races. Ordner, who's had a very struggling qualifying, has managed to come home in P4.
Nice achievement from George Ordner.
As Mark Whitford is going to be closing come home in 5th, just in front of his teammate. As Kovlan has been passed by Vinnie Roberts, it does seem.
As Sacher is now indeed reporting a little technical issue with getting the pit stops to work. So that's very unfortunate for them.
Vinnie Roberts come home in 9th in the Corvette, followed by Kovalainen, who unfortunately both the Audis, Tom Dentist and Kovalainen, just drive-through penalties just screwed their strategy over completely. All the advantage they gained just had to go away.
Jordan Wansink passes crosses the line in P12. Next up is Thijs Dendo in 13th, and then the last multiple point position is Robin Sutherland in 14th. And the Dragons Bible in 15th, Thomas Sayek finishes 16th, Thomas Olsen takes 17th position, Radek Pelexek takes 18th, Victor Berlin takes 19th, and there's all the other positions on your screen.
It must have an incident the last lap then, because he was 15th.
Yeah, so quite sure what happened there. So actually, I'm not sure how Sebastian Brunier ended up 21st.
You see an incident possibly. But there you go, there's another exciting round of the OVRC GT series. Those pit stops somewhat through a unknown factor, and I think if Kovalainen and Dentist didn't have their drive-throughs, I think it would have been even more interesting, because those two just jumped up the order somewhat compared to where they would be normally with their previous strategy. Is there anything you would like to add, Erwin, before we head off the stream?
Well, I must say that was a very interesting race. Definitely some strategies going on which we don't usually see. It's usually very safe tires to change strategy for the vast majority of people, but not this time around. So that was very refreshing and exciting. So made for a very enjoyable race.
I have to agree with you. There was again, if it wasn't for those drive-through penalties, I'm assuming speeding in the pit lane, then it would have been even more interesting. But it's still a good race nonetheless. Congratulations to Thomas Jensen for taking another win. And we'll see you all next week for round 6 of the OVRC TC series.
If you want to see that, make sure to subscribe to our channel.
Yep, and that race will be at Sonoma. Right, we haven't been to before. It's gonna be unknown. It's gonna be spooky, even though Halloween's gone. But I'll still say that. Never too late for a joke like that. And we will see you.
Remember to like this stream if you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Please like. We need the likes
Please.
to help pay for the bills. And yeah, once again, thank you everyone for tuning in and signing in, and we will see you the next time.